See, then I worked for Ocean Spray Cranberry.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they had a plant down in over in Hampton here, and when the cranberries ripen up, this was way back when we first moved here, and there was not enough people. So, boy, if you could walk on 2 feet, they'd hire you to go to work for maybe like 2 months, just for the picking season. So, so I went to work for them for, you know, I did it every year for about maybe four years.
Yeah.
But I remember one time, that was good, because I worked the night shift. We were a separate crew that come in on the night shift. So we used to someone would bring in a thing of vodka. We'd pour it in the cooler, you know, in the cooler. It was always a cooler that had cranberry juice in it.
Hey.
We get feeling pretty good.
And now it was a cooler full of Cape Codders is what it was.
Until they caught on. Then we almost got fired, and they took away the cooler. But then one year they had a big cranberry scare. They thought that they had sprayed the cranberry bogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
With an insecticide that was
Yeah.
poisonous. So they called all the cranberry, you know, all the cranberry growers.
Yeah.
Got a thing they couldn't.
You had to dump? Did they have to?
Them. So we had, and in the plant we had a huge amount of cranberries.
Oh,
you know, so I came in on a Saturday one day, and I'm walking through because I got out of the mains thing. I always got a plushy job doing something. So they said, Jesus, I heard them talking. They said, God damn driver never came in today, and we got all these cranberries got to get down into the swamp. They made a road through the swamp. Any of you guys know how to drive a truck? Oh, I do. I never drove a truck other than I drove an oil truck for a short time, but it was different. But yeah, so they loaded it up, you know, with berries, and they said, okay, well, we're full. I said, okay, and I get in the truck, you know, I started it up, and I go, where the heck is first gear? I couldn't find first gear. Finally, I got a gear, and I got it out of there. So I got it going, and then I finally figured out the different gears.
Yep.
So I took it down in the swamp, you know. I backed it up all right, and got ready to dump it.
Yeah.
And I said, now how do you dump this thing? I don't know how to dump it. I never drove a dump truck. So I pulled around and finally figured it out and got it dumped. So I did that for that period of time.
So then you were good to go. Now you know how to do it.
And so then, now this is the best part of all. After that, once they got the scare, they had a freezer plant down in Wareham.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So they had a big flatbed truck, and they put the cranberries in like a 4x4 4-foot bin, wooden bin.
Gee, that's a big bin.
1, 2,
yeah.
3, 4. They could load 8 of them onto this flatbed truck. So they come in, you know, and I come in and they says, you think you could make the trip from here to Wareham? I said, no problem. Oh, geez, I didn't know how to get to Wareham. I didn't even know where Wareham was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I said, okay, yeah, I can do it. So I started up and I left off, and I didn't know where the hell I went all through down Miles Standish State Forest.
Oh, jeez.
Through these back roads with this big truck with all these cranberries, and I finally got down there.
Yep.
And but that was neat. Then I'd, you know, they'd unload the truck. I'd just sit there and do nothing, you know. Go in and have some cranberry juice or whatever I wanted to do, because it would take them time.
Right.
And then I'd drive back with the empty boxes on the truck. And I did that every weekend for quite a while.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good job. That was a plushy job.
Yeah.
I didn't work, just drove.
Just drove. Yeah.
Drove this truck. I didn't have a trucker's license or anything.
Oh, God. Well, back then, you didn't need it.
You probably, yeah, you didn't need it. No.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Now, this was was this before or after you worked in the window factory?
Oh, that was before. Then I worked
Okay.
in the window place there too. I made wood windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I got it. Again, there I start. The first day I worked there, they put me on a machine that were cutting little panes of glass.
Yeah.
Oh, monotonous. And I said, oh, I'm not working this job.
Yeah.
So
That's
I conned them in after about a week of that. I conned them into running the machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
They says, are you mechanically inclined? I said, oh yeah. I never ever said no to anything. So they put me on a machine.
Yep.
You know, a mortise machine that cut the sills. To
Oh,
the
okay.
window.
Yeah.
So then I got up there and I met one guy that was up there. He was up on the second floor. They made the big center lights.
Yeah.
You know, so he says, do you want to come up and help me? So I said, yeah, I'll come up and help you. So, you know, so I went up there and I worked with him, and then he got sick and he couldn't work anymore. And so they said to me, you know,
Opportunity knocks. Yeah.
so they said, you know, you want that job, making center lights? You know how to read the orders and everything? Oh yeah, I said, I know how to do it.
Yep.
So I went up on the second floor, and I had a shop all to myself.
Wow.
You know, so I could make those center lights. They bring me up, you know, I want so much by so much, and you
Yep.
know, the dimensions. And then I figured out, well, it was a hard job moving these because they're heavy,
Yeah.
you know, insulated windows. So then I figured out I made a jig so that I could move these windows up, you know, move them around without too much effort.
Yep.
So I made this jig, and I could make windows pretty fast, you know. So and then at the end of the night, I took it all apart and hid it underneath one of the benches, so
Yep.
the day crew couldn't figure it out.
So when the boss came in, he'd say, "How the heck is he putting out 10
They'd
windows
say
a night?"
I could put out more windows in 5 hours than they could in 8. Yeah, I had and I had a coffee machine.
Yep.
I had a radio. I had my own little business right up there.
Now, did you ever let on, like how you were doing it?
Nope, I never did it.
Wow.
I never told them. Till the day I left. Yeah.
What was the name of that place?
That was West Pine.
Oh yeah. Okay,
West Pine
that
Wood
rings a bell
Windows.
with me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was owned by 2 Frenchmen. Yeah, and yeah, that was pretty good. But I remember in the basement they had a low overhead, and I always remember that. I used to drive the forklift truck down there.
Yeah.
Because move all these windows around. But yeah, and the forklift had no protection. You know, no protection. So
Yeah.
you drive along, when you come to one of the beams, you know, the first floor beam, you have to duck your head a little. Duck your head a little bit, you know, bang your head.
Wow.
No wonder OSHA came into being.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. Because I remember one time I had a full pallet full of windows, all stacked and wrapped and everything, and I was driving them out to put them into a truck.
Yep.
Geez, I went through the yard because it was pretty flat, and I lifted it up and moved it in, and I missed the tail end of the truck, and the windows came off. They flipped over, and honest to God, they never broke.
Oh my God.
At least I don't think they broke. On the outside, they looked all right. I just got them again because you flipped over and landed right on the back on the pallet. So I was able to pick them up, and I picked them up and put them in the truck. Then I pushed them way down in the front.
Away they go.
I don't know whatever happened.
I don't know what happened. Yeah.
What happened.
They were like that when I got them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was the last one that did it?
Unbelievable.
So
after that, after West Pine, did you do any other odd jobs, or was it strictly insurance only
I think
after
by
that?
time I was
You were done with.
strictly insurance. 'Cause
Yeah.
Now I was married,
Yeah.
and Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I can remember as a kid. I remember West Pine. I
Yeah,
remember you.
yeah, I was
I
married
actually
then.
remember you going to the Cranberry when I was very little.
Yeah.
I remember having many. You'd bring home crates
All
of
bags of
yeah,
cranberries.
yeah, bags of cranberries.
Yeah.
So, and I do
All
remember.
free.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Because of me.
yeah.
No, because then, you know, we lived in the apartment for 4 years, and then I went to work for the insurance companies, for the Workmen's Compensation Bureau.
Yeah.
And again, I went in, and I got that through an employment agency. And the guy says, are you mechanically inclined, you know, because this is a job they need. I said, oh, definitely. Yeah. Okay, we'll give you a chance with the Workers' Compensation Rating Bureau.
Yeah.
And so I had to do, I did all the foundries. Used to inspect every foundry in the state.
Wow.
From General Electric down.
Yep.
I didn't know anything. But they sent me
But
to
you
school
learn.
for a
Yeah.
week.
There you go. Yeah.
And I had to check the OD, or occupational disease,
Yep.
because when they pour metal, they use a silicone sand in the mold. See, and silicone is cancerous.
Yeah.
So I'd have to do a check on that. Then they had, when they pour an object, you know, then they shake it out. It has to be shaken out to get
Yep.
all the sand off. So especially if it's a big thing.
Oh
So
yeah.
they put it on what they call a shakeout platform.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that everyone was wearing a proper mask,
Yep.
you know, and everything.
Oh yeah. No, that's
Or-
terrible for your
and
lungs.
if it was
Yeah.
small items, it went into what they call the wheelabrator. And that went around like a
Oh,
big
okay.
laundry tub.
Yep.
And it was filled with abrasive,
Yep.
usually a silicone sand, to get the sand off of the casting.
Yep.
So I had to check that and do all that. I went all around the state, from one end to the other doing that, from the smallest little brass foundry to the biggest steel foundry.
Wow.
Yeah.